Welcome. Thank you for joining me. Gray Board Gamer here with a preview of Tricksters from Aether Tower, a card game coming soon to Kickstarter. Let's crack this box open and see what we got. We have light energy and dark energy tokens that are needed for scoring. And we have our deck of cards with our little creatures known as Anuka. We have the mountain Anuka, water, and jungle. And to help me illustrate gameplay, I have my friend Abe here and my friend Bud. The first thing we're going to do is shuffle this deck and give each player a hand of 7 face down cards. Each player has been dealt their hand of 7 cards. Now we will flip over the first 2 cards face up from the draw deck. These 2 face up cards represent the cub cards, or the cubs that can be drawn by a player action. During a player's turn, they can perform one of 2 actions. They can draw 2 cards, and that is any combination of the face-up cards or the face-down cards from the draw pile. For example, they could draw 1 face-up and 1 face-down, or both face-up cards, or take 2 cards from the face-down deck. If they're not going to draw any cards, then they can take one of the cards from their hand and put it face down off to the side as part of the pool. And then play will pass to the next player and keep going around until there are 4 cards placed into the pool. The last card placed into the pool will be put in face up. The previous 3 will be face down. Let's see what kind of hand I have. I have a lot of green Anuka and a lot of red Anuka. I have a couple of special symbols. The eye would allow me to look at a player's hand and steal one of their cards, and the ×3 symbol represents 3 of that race of Anuka when in the pool. And again, as you can see, these are samples. These are handmade prototypes. There's going to be changes, and it's going to be a much higher quality when the game is produced. Some of the changes are going to be the black border that you see around the edge will be eliminated, and the art will extend all the way out. And of course, it'll be made from a much more sturdy material, and there will be card back art on the finished product. Now I have to choose, do I want to draw any cards? No, the 2 types of cards showing are what I already have in my hand. Looks like I'm pretty strong in dark red Anuka. And by dark I mean in this triangle in the corner you can see that there's 2 different types of cards within the races also. We have the light energy and the dark energy, and that'll come into play during the scoring phase coming up. I'm going to go big right away and play my ×3 face down. The other players don't know what I'm putting down into the pool. And I'll do the same now for Abe and Bud. Abe's hand looks really similar to mine. He also has a new ability card, a special action, which is the skull, which, if activated, allows the player to destroy 1 card in the pool and replace it with a card from their hand. Well, he looks like he's got about the same thing as me, except he's stronger in the light energy. So he's going to take and put down a ×3 also, face down. And let's see what Bud has. Bud's hand appears to be dark energy heavy, and he's got the majority in water Anuka. He's going to go ahead and play that one face down for his turn, which would bring it back to me. Instead of putting the fourth card on the pool, I'm going to go ahead and strengthen my hand with the two colors that I have already by drawing both of those from the face-up cards. And when those are drawn, they are replaced by two more. Now we have two new cup cards. Abe's going to go ahead. He's looking at the cub cards, deciding what he wants to do. And he's going to go ahead and he's going to put his, even though it's dark energy, he's going to put that one face up for the fourth card, ending the round. Now that the fourth card has been placed on the pool, each player is going to pick a card from their hand that they want to be their avatar for this round of play. Now they're going to pick that card, and then all players will reveal their card at the same time. I'm going to go ahead and do that for each player right now. Now each player has revealed the card that they have chosen to use for their avatar. The player that put the fourth card face up on the pool will shuffle the cards, and whichever round number this is, this being round number 1, that many cards will be drawn and left face down. If this were round 2, we would put 2 cards, round 3, 3 cards, and so on. Then the cards that are in the pool are revealed. Now that the pool cards have been revealed, we count to see how many of each type of Anuka there is. Here we have 2 cards, but this one has the multiple 3 times 3 symbol on it, which means this would represent 4 of the mountain Anuka and 1 of the water, and there are no jungle Anuka being shown. So the cards that have the majority, which would be the mountain Anuka, are known as the perceivers. The cards that have the middle number will be the keepers, and the cards that are in the minority that have 0 or the smallest number will be the tricksters. After the determination of which race is the perceivers, keepers, and tricksters, then we will resolve special effects that are on cards. And that starts with the player that put the fourth card on the pool, and then it'll continue in play order. So Abe put the fourth card in the pool. His avatar is the mountain Anuka, and the mountain Anuka have the eye symbol, which allows him to look at another player's hand and steal a card from it. Now he's going to aim over here for Bud. He does not want to aim for me because I also have the same avatar showing, which means I could just take my card right back from him. So he's going to come over here and look at his hand, and it's pretty thick and dark, and he's really going for the light energy. Well, no, actually he's going for the dark. So he's going to go ahead and steal this nice times 3 and add it to his hand. Then we would move next for special abilities to Bud. The water Anuka do not have any special abilities this time, so we move right past him to me, and I also get to activate this eye. And I'm going to go ahead and be a jerk. Take a look at Abe. Say, ooh, got some pretty good times 3s in there. And let me do a quick refresher and look at my hand. Yep, I got a couple of dark, so I'm going to steal that times 3 that he stole. So that card went around, right back to me. Now that each of the players have had a chance to activate special effects, we'll now score the round. Now we score according to which avatar they chose and what class their race fell into. The perceivers, the majority of cards, score the number of points equal to the number of tricksters. There are no tricksters this time, so both of our perceivers will score 0 in this round, which is common in the beginning rounds. Next, our middle, which is our keepers, which is Bud over here. Keepers score 0. And our minority race, which would be our tricksters if we had anybody, would score 1 point of their choice of either dark or light energy. Nobody was lucky enough to score any points of light or dark energy this round, which means we move on to the end of this phase. The perceivers, their avatar will get discarded. The keepers do exactly that. They keep their card. And if there was a trickster, if somebody had a lesser race showing, their card would be added to the pool. Therefore, it would strengthen the number of those cards in the pool. Then the pool cards would be put back ready to go for round number 2, and shift the first player over here to Abe and continue play in that fashion until somebody gets 7 light or dark energy. When someone reaches 7, that's the end of the game. Another couple of quick things to tell you. I'm just going to set up a quick, say this was just a fake pool here, and it was time to score. Now, here in the majority, the perceivers would have 7, and then we would have keepers here at 4 and tricksters here at 2. Now when the perceivers went to score, they would get 2 points this time because the tricksters have 2 cards in their race. And whether they get light or dark energy depends on how many light and dark cards are out. Right now we have 4 dark and 3 light, so they would score 2 dark energy for their scoring phase. Now if that same player already had 1 light energy and they would score 2 dark, well, the dark and the light cancel each other out. So that 1 dark would be eliminated with that light, giving them a net of only 1 that round. And also if they already had 1 dark and scored 2, then they would go ahead, just add them on, and then have 3 dark energy. That's another thing you have to think about in your strategy in the game, and what other players are doing is how many light and dark cards are out, how many light or dark energy you already have, what you're trying to get. So it's not real simple to get to 7. You do have to build a pretty solid strategy. And then you have the different cards with the effects. We've seen the eye, where you can look at and take a card from another player's hand. The skull, which allows you to destroy a card from the pool and replace it with one out of your hand to give you an advantage. We also have the swap arrows, which look like that for now, and again these will change in the final version. And the swap arrows make you change favor with one of the cub cards. And by favor, I mean your avatar. So if I was showing a green avatar and, oh no, the special effect, which is obligatory, I have to do it. I have to swap my card with one of the two cub cards randomly. So with a random determination, say I ended up with the water Anuka, and now, instead of being a keeper, now I am in the Trickster. As you can see, there's a lot of decision making to make. It's deceptively simple, but dealing with the light and the dark energy, whether it's what's in play, what's in your hand, which points do I already have, which special effects are going to trigger, and which ones are going to benefit me, which ones are going to go against me. There's a lot of decisions and choices to make within the game to make it much more complex than it looks like initially. This Kickstarter should be launching on November 15th. If you like what you see, go out and support it. If you're not sure, you can always kick in that dollar and make a decision later. It's always good to support the smaller independent game publishers. Also, again, I want to say it, this is a handmade prototype with just sample art on it. The game that's going to come out is going to have much nicer art, nicer cards, nicer components. Also, there's going to be stretch goals for new effects, more varied art, custom mat. There's a lot that's going to be available. Check it out on Kickstarter starting November 15th. And also, Abe and Bud are mine. They're not part of the game, and versions of them will not be included. Thank you for joining me for this quick gameplay preview of the upcoming Kickstarter game, Tricksters. From Aether Tower, please look in the description for links and information to the company and the Kickstarter campaign. Thank you again. Hope to see you next time.